Welcome to this video where we will be exploring the concept of ego from a spiritual perspective. Ego is a term that is often discussed in spiritual circles, and in this video, we'll be diving deeper into answering some of the long-asked questions. What is ego? How can it impact our spiritual growth? And how can we transcend it? So let's begin with what ego is. Ego refers to the sense of self that is formed from our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions of the world around us. It is often described as the false self, or the illusion of separation from the greater whole. The ego is driven by desires, fears, and attachments, and can often create a sense of separation, competition, and judgment. How can ego impact our spiritual growth? 1. Ego creates a sense of separation. When we are identified with our ego, we believe we are separate from others and the universe. This sense of separation can limit our ability to experience oneness and connection with others and the world around us. 2. Ego leads to attachment. Ego creates a sense of attachment to our desires, thoughts, and emotions, which can lead to suffering. We become attached to things that are impermanent and subject to change, leading to disappointment and frustration. 3. Ego fosters judgment and criticism. When we are identified with our ego, we tend to judge and criticize others who do not share our beliefs, values, or perspectives. This can lead to conflict and disharmony in relationships and limit our ability to see the inherent value in all beings. 4. Ego creates a false sense of self-importance. Ego can lead us to believe that we are more important or special than others, leading to arrogance and entitlement. This can limit our ability to empathize with others and see beyond our own needs and desires. 5. Ego causes us to resist change. When we are identified with our ego, we tend to resist change and cling to our comfort zones. This can limit our ability to grow and evolve spiritually, as growth often requires stepping outside of our comfort zones and embracing uncertainty. 6. Ego fosters a need for control. Ego can lead us to believe that we need to control our environment, and the people around us to feel safe and secure. This need for control can limit our ability to surrender to the flow of life and trust in the universe. 7. Ego can cause us to seek external validation. When we are identified with our ego, we tend to seek validation from others and the outside world. This can limit our ability to cultivate self-love and acceptance and lead to a sense of inadequacy and insecurity. 8. Ego can lead to selfishness. Ego can cause us to become overly focused on our own needs and desires, leading to selfishness and a lack of consideration for others. This can limit our ability to experience empathy and compassion for others and can create disharmony in relationships. 9. Ego can lead to a lack of self-awareness. Ego can create a veil of illusion around our true selves, limiting our ability to cultivate self-awareness and understanding. This can prevent us from recognizing our own strengths and weaknesses and can hinder our personal growth and development. 10. Ego can cause us to cling to outdated beliefs and patterns. Ego can lead us to cling to outdated beliefs, patterns, and behaviors that no longer serve us. This can limit our ability to evolve and grow spiritually and can create resistance to change and transformation. Ego can impact our spiritual growth in many ways, limiting our ability to experience connection, growth, and evolution. Becoming aware of these impacts and working to transcend ego can help us cultivate a greater sense of inner peace, connection, and fulfillment in our spiritual journeys. How can we transcend ego? 1. Cultivate self-awareness. Developing self-awareness is key to transcending ego. By becoming aware of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, we can begin to recognize when ego is present and work to transcend it. 2. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for transcending ego. By bringing our attention to the present moment, we can become less identified with our thoughts and emotions and more connected to the present moment. 3. Cultivate humility. Humility is the antidote to ego. By recognizing our own limitations and accepting that we do not have all the answers, we can become more open to new perspectives and experiences. 4. Practice self-compassion. Self-compassion involves treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, even when we make mistakes or experience setbacks. By cultivating self-compassion, we can become less identified with our ego and more connected to our true selves. Practice empathy. Empathy involves putting ourselves in other people's shoes and seeing things from their perspective. By practicing empathy, we can become more connected to others and less identified with our own ego-driven desires and beliefs. 6. Let go of attachment. Attachment is a key component of ego. By letting go of our attachment to our desires and expectations, we can become more open to new experiences and less identified with our ego-driven desires. 7. Practice gratitude. Gratitude involves cultivating a sense of appreciation for the people, experiences, and things in our lives. By practicing gratitude, we can become less identified with our ego-driven desires and more connected to the present moment. 8. Connect with nature. Nature has a way of putting things into perspective and reminding us of our connection to something greater than ourselves. By spending time in nature, we can become less identified with our ego and more connected to the world around us. 9. Practice forgiveness. Forgiveness involves letting go of resentment and anger towards ourselves and others. By practicing forgiveness, we can become less identified with our ego and more connected to our true selves and others. 10. Serve others. Serving others involves putting the needs of others before our own. By practicing service, we can become less identified with our ego-driven desires and more connected to the needs and well-being of others. Transcending ego involves cultivating a greater sense of self-awareness, humility, compassion, and connection with others and the world around us. By practicing these 10 ways to transcend ego, we can become more connected to our true selves and experience greater inner peace, fulfillment, and spiritual growth. Thanks for watching this video on understanding the ego. We hope you found it insightful and informative. There's more? This was just part 1 of our series on the ego. In our next video, we'll be diving even deeper into this complex and fascinating topic. So if you want to learn more on different forms of ego, how to manage ego and the importance of transcending ego, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. That way, you won't miss out on part 2. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.